Hey everyone, Jeff here, but today call me Professor Oak because I am going to be taking you all to school. Today is finally the day I'm going to make the video where I show you guys how to consistently get 10 wins. I'm going to break down all the phases of the game, the economy, what I'm doing with my choices. We should be able to do this in just one run. It's pretty consistent to get 10 wins if you're going for it and not trying to like break the game with a busted build. So that's what we're doing today. If you end up liking this video and want to see more, definitely give the video a like, subscribe, helps the channel. Appreciate y'all. Let's get into it. We're going to jump into rate. We're in Grandmaster, 15,000 points. We could basically play against anybody. Just depends who's on. So again, the game has three phases. There's the beginning, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Or early, mid, and late, I think is more appropriate. So like the first 1 through 5 days, I would say, is early. Then like 5 through 10 is middle, and then 10 on is late game. And basically, the best way to get to 10 wins consistently is to win. Is to win early. It gives you a lot of flexibility late. It allows you to like give up lives. This is not about getting perfect. This is about just getting to 10. So you generally want to pick the best two things you can get out of day one shop. Now, there is a tier list for this. There's like a DPS checklist if in the Discord somewhere if you want to go check it out in the official Oaken Tower Discord. But really, there's only two options here. The updated pedal staff is pretty solid with an arcane mace. I think this is a solid, like, good start. You could ruby knife silver lance. I think this is probably going to lose most of the time though. And you could also double chopper. I think double chopper's okay. Chopper ice axe is definitely something I'd take. The other thing here though is if you take double chopper and you get another chopper, then you get to level up. So that's potentially even better. We're going to take double chopper because I think it gives you the best chance of like long-term victory because of pairing stuff and having 2-star items now really impacts the meta in the sense that you can't really get by on a lot of things now in the late game. So if you ignore 2 stars, you could pretty easily, I think, get to 6 or 7 wins. But if you don't go down that path, it's going to be a lot harder to get to 10. So winning day one is really good. One thing you probably don't know about this game, if you win, I believe it is 4 extra XP than losing. I think that's the accurate number. So that's another reason to win early. Like you're getting free stuff. Okay, so we're just flooded with axes here. I guess day one was the right choice. I think I'd rather keep winning, and I think with what we have here, we could double Divine Axe, which is pretty sweet. But if you just take these two, freeze the shop, so you have this. We're favored against most builds here. Even people who leveled up, it doesn't really matter because Arcane Cleaver does so much damage. It does so much damage, and with this many items and them all getting buffed, it's pretty good. Divine Axe isn't terrible either. It's not like a great item, but it's fine. I'm of the opinion that right now you just take Blessing every time, no matter what. I'm sure there's some use cases for Healing Touch, but I would avoid it. I would not think about it, just take Blessing. All right, so here it's 28 to level up and 20 for this. We don't have enough for both. I think leveling is going to be better for us in the long term because income increases as you level up. So this gives us more money. I'm banking on these 4 items being able to win us this next round. You could take a Bone Club here, but I think you'd rather save your money. Economy is important. A lot of people are running early econ stuff right now. People like to run crazy busted builds. Go for the tempo play. Make strong early game stuff. Get your wins quick so you don't have to fight the day 14, 15 builds where if you don't win on like second 2, you win. These are bad. I'll just say it. These are pretty bad. Especially with what we have. Specifically with what we have, they're not good. You just take heavy armor because it scales well. It's 10% more HP throughout the entire run, which is pretty solid. Here we want to level because once you get to level 3, you start getting purple chests for when you combine items. And you have a 10% chance for epics too. So I think we just take this on day 4. This is about the end of the early game here, the way I see it. Basically, once you get to purple chests and, you know, level 3, you do like 1 day of this, and then you get to the end game, or the middle game. Excuse me. This thing is a problem. We probably lose to it. Honestly, it's one of the best items you can get. I mean, this is cool. Mythic Rod's great from the opponent. Runic Shield might be the single most powerful epic item in a vacuum. I really can't think of a better one off the top of my head right now. But luckily we win that one too. All right, so we're taking Arcane Cleaver. It pairs, right? So easy upgrades. It also stacks fire. So one thing about burn in this game, because it ticks down, if you can have more, if you're applying more stacks than the rate it is ticking down, burn starts to do a ton of damage. If you're only applying like, let's say 4 or 5, it's going to decrease as you apply it. But if you start like stacking it up, it gets really good. Whereas poison stacks forever, same with bleed. We have exactly enough to level up, so I think I'm going to do it. If I didn't have the heavy armor, I might not, because that basically, like, we got 600, so we got like 660 HP from it. It's pretty good. We get some extra income. I don't know that we're favored. Well, okay. I was gonna say, I don't know that we're favored here, but you have no idea what your opponents are gonna do. Sometimes, like, the best way to get 10 wins is just get lucky every time, but it's not always gonna be the case. All right, so now hopefully we're looking for in this next shop is to do some stuff. Like we wanna get some 1-star axes going on. Also, we're gonna get a day 6 event, which, funny enough, in this situation, you kind of just take Elder. Like Chronomancer time pendant's okay. Chronomancer potion gives you minus a half second cooldown on an item. But we could also just take instant knowledge, take 40 XP. We're going to be so far ahead from an economy standpoint that we're going to be great. And notice I haven't really rerolled much. Trying to minimize that. If you reroll a lot, you're more likely to, you know, hit god builds, but you're also much more likely to just fizzle out and lose a run. This is worth taking. Nature's Call. It's very tempting. Putting a Nature's Call over an Arcane Cleaver is kind of powerful. And it would avoid us having to reroll again. Now, like I mentioned before, I do want to pair the axes, but I think this is the choice. Leave this one out and just hope we hit next time. They have a Flamey War Axe and a Void Stinger. That's a little worrisome. And they're also the same level as us. Like same HP. So we've done this with no economy items, which is the concerning part. Also, they have 2 super strong scaling legendary items already. So we're going to lose today. Barely. I was wrong. I thought we were going to lose. Whatever. Never doubt. Except for when I doubted. All right, now we get to hit. And we go straight to legendary. Normally, not a fan of that. Normally, I like to grab a lot of epic items. But in this situation, not so bad. I don't think you want to pivot to Anvil on day 7 in the current meta. I don't think that's very wise. And so if that's the case, if you're not taking Anvil, you can decide, do you want a Protector or do you want a Void Stinger? Void Stinger is a real item. Like with 2 Arcane Cleavers, this is a powerful weapon that scales. I think it's worth taking. It is 2 gold less, so if we ever decided to sell it, it is a worse pick than the others. But I think we get away with it. And now we're left into another decision here is, do we want to take a Divine Axe to try and get to Divine Axe 2, which I don't think is probably worth it. We would need 3 more for that to work. I think we would much rather try and hit one of these 2 axes, either Arcane Cleaver or Chopper. Well, there's a treasure chest. So that's pretty good. As far as pretty good things go. All right, we're gonna do this then. I'm gonna put this here. You know what? Even better than that, let's sell the divine axe. Buy the treasure chest. You're gonna sell the treasure chest. This gives you 2 of these. It's really good because you get so much of your money back. If we don't buy anything else, our economy goes up. We could also roll into a goblet here and get a free pair. Or a triplet, or a star eye, whatever you want to call it. I always say pair, but it's really not accurate. We've kind of missed. But if we can hit either of these axes on one more roll, I think it's worth it. Now it's kind of a spot where I don't really want to. I think we just let it ride. All right, so they have a 2-star Paladin's Hammer, which is good for us. It's really good for us. And this is why it is important to have scaling on sometimes. Because every once in a while, your opponent's going to be on some, like, a lame stall build to get money. And if that's the case, you want to take advantage of them. And that's kind of the meta right now. It's like one of the things that happens is that there's a bunch of these going around. And if you can get, like, a bunch of free damage on some of your items, it's pretty great. Like, we're at 7 wins already with 10 hearts left. We get to take our full HP. We're not committed to axes at all. Like, Void Stinger is where we're at. I also think with the amount of stuff we have here, like the amount of money, we're allowed to just level up. $61 left over. And then try and fish for another Void Stinger, Arcane Cleaver, something like that. Our form of multicast, or a goblet. Like, there's a lot of things we want here. There's also a lot of things we don't want. We roll for a little bit. It's okay. Sometimes you don't hit everything. Soul Splitter is kind of a trap in general. If you don't have Arcane Orb, it's not good. But you can do it with Pyramid if you get the Dark Event on day 9 as well. So that's okay, but not really an axe that buffs. We're kind of getting unlucky here. To have not hit something for either of these by now is kind of shocking. We could... So, here's the thing, right? Here's the thought process. We could sell a goblet. We go to 65 gold. We buy a treasure chest. The goblet's pair. We get a legendary chest. The problem is there's no legendary that pairs with what we're doing. Right? Like, we have common and rare as our pairs. Because of that, we're giving up this goblet, but we do get an upgraded goblet out of it. And if we hit if we had a lost fragment, it's really good because we could put that underneath the Void Stinger. That might be worth it. The only other thing is like a Flamey War Axe is pretty strong. As far as yeah, you know what? I've talked myself into it. Okay, we kind of missed, but it's also okay because we could just sell a Warhorn. We're not doing crit things, so you don't really have to worry about it. And it gives us another couple rolls. That's 2 Flamey War Axes. 2 Flamey War Axes with a Void Stinger and 2 Arcane Cleavers might be okay. This is interesting math-wise. Like, this feels good. Now, we're not applying a ton of burn. But I think if we buy one, we can't sell both of these to get another one. So I'm going to freeze it, and we're just going to see what happens. All right, we get Mad Turtle, who's got a Tri-Gem going. Some sword stuff. I don't know. I think we win due to our HP. And this is another thing that I probably haven't talked about enough, is that if you just have more HP than your opponent, you can kind of just grind out some games. Like, we have more time to stack up all these debuffs because we've leveled up. And because we took the heavy armor, it makes our levels even better. Okay, now there's this. Like, So, as a rule, I just always take lucky rolls. However, however, there is a case to be made here for max health. I don't think Count Vlado is worth it. Although, if one thing you can do when you have 10 hearts and you get Count Vlado is you can take him, pick Cursed Artifact. If you get the artifact that generates dark items, you can scrap your entire build, sell everything, look for Nightquills and the other item, the Cursed Necklace, the dark items. Basically the one that makes it so your starter combat effects trigger extra time, and then one that triggers them, and just make 1,000,000 dark items and win. And you have days to do that because you have 10 arts, which is another reason to do this. I'm not going to do that because that's a crazy pivot. Like, we're entering the end game now, basically starting today. I don't think Walk on Water is that good. I think Lucky Rolls is just, the upside is too high to not take it. So we're going to take this Flaming War Axe now. And now we're going to roll a couple times. That's an item. Nature Skull is real good. It's real good. But, oh, the candy shop. Candy shop. Okay, so candy shop is weird without having actual candy. So candy scales from using a lot more candy. It's a Halloween event. I don't know if this is going to stay, so I don't know if this is relevant to the video. But for its like base price, it's not that great. It's like a slightly worse vial, maybe even to a vial. But unlike the third use, it's kind of crazy. I think in this situation, we just skip it entirely, to be honest. Only artifacts, huh? Only artifacts from this one. Well, we're getting lucky rolls. They're just not really the ones we're after. You could try to 2-star Goblet. With 8 wins and this type of build, I don't think we're after that. I think we're after like the early tempo play, which is right here. So now we're going to sell this Goblet. We're going to buy this. It gives us another thing. We'd have Void Stinger, which is crazy. It's a crazy good pull. Because now we're much more likely to hit another Void Stinger. There's a Fire Orb. You could Fire Orb onto the Flaming War Axe. I don't think that's unreasonable. But we're trying to win before people get crazy right now. That's kind of the build we found ourselves in. And that is the upgraded Flaming War Axe. Okay, so we're going to sell this axe now, because it's not worth really the time. And here's where it's a little interesting. We do have 2 swords. There's an anvil. Swords get crazy. There's a Doom Guide. I don't think Doom Guide is what we're after, but Doom Guide sells for 30. So we're gonna sell it. Put the Void Stinger in. We have 2 Void Stingers. We have a Flaming War Axe. You could probably do it like this, honestly. This is getting twice the amount of burn we apply as bonus damage. I'm rolling a little bit harder than I normally would because we have Carmen. If we didn't have the lucky rerolls, I probably wouldn't. This is absurd. That's completely absurd. Borderline unfair. I'm gonna drop this here. We're gonna freeze this whole shop, and we're gonna be living in this shop. This looks great. This looks very winning. Johnny the Goat here. Okay, this is dangerous. We should win pretty easily though. So again, this is why having a lot of HP is important. This is the type of build that could kill you quickly. He needs, like, let's be real, like another Nightquill here. I just call it Nightquill. I don't know, I'm calling it Nightquill right now. Another Nightquill here, and this is like scary. But, well, actually, it doesn't work that way anymore. My apologies. I forgot they changed it. For like a couple days, it was on start of combat. So now it doesn't really do the extra thing anymore. The extra trigger and extra time. So it's not really that great. Unfortunate. Okay. We have everything to buy here. Start with the Void Stinger. Air. None of these are going into our build, so you just sell. And now you decide what you want to do. You could buy another Void Stinger. Definitely, you probably just want to buy another Nature's Call, really, just to cast these as much as possible. And I think you want to up the Void Stinger here for more damage faster, because we're planning on winning right now, right? That's the strat. The strat is to win immediately. It looks a little scary. They have a really strong build. They do a lot of damage. I think we're dead. Yeah. See, so this is the thing. We're in the late game now, so you're going to run into this stuff because we played a tempo build. Now, it's possible we don't get to 10 wins here. I'm going to force lucky rerolls. That's a new event. You can either get 9 free rerolls or lucky rerolls. I'm going to take lucky rerolls like every time out of that event. But I would not blame you for not. I think we want Void Stinger as our main dupe now. Take another anvil to sell it. We still have more action here. I think we want another Void Stinger. Let's see what the reroll is. No, these don't. These are terrible. These don't help us at all. And then we get a bleed setup, which is interesting, but still not great. And we roll for our last free one. Mirror Elixir is great. Mirror Elixir is really good because then we can upgrade one of the things we want. So it really just comes down now to who our opponents are and if they do crazy stuff, which for the most part, I think they should be, because we got a very plain build. This is a type of build that would have won very fast before the 2-star meta. Now it's a little bit harder. Let's level, buy the potion, roll, see if we see anything. Arcane Cleaver's not that great at this point. Just for the record, just not very good. And we didn't do any economy stuff. I think I have to leave it there. I mean, one thing I could do is sell the Arcane Cleaver, copy a Nature's Call, put the Nature's Call over the Flamey War Axe, and if we play a slow build, we win from that. It's also $30. It's close. It's close. I don't think either one is... I don't think either one's winning us the game. And if we hold on to this, we have a little more information, which I think probably pays off better. I mean, there may be an argument too as to putting another Nature's Call above the Void Stinger. So then if we get 2 Void Stingers, we combine them and get all the stats from it. But we still haven't sped it up, so it's also not great. Yeah, I think I hold it. I think I hold it for information. All right, this looks like we die. Oh, wait, maybe we don't. They have a it's hard to say. They're gonna win by HP, I think. Yeah, just barely. Mythic Rod goes kind of crazy. It didn't have a lot of crit, but now it does. It's a little worrisome. All right, see, now we're in struggle time. But again, this is kind of what I said. I think rather than leveling, we're supposed to try and shop here. And then we do this. We get the 2-star. The problem is it's scaling so late. Well, that's one way to do it. All right, slap that bad boy on there. This is a lot. This is a lot of damage. But I really don't think it's gonna be enough. I think we're more likely to lose. And look at this. Look at this. They're doing stuff. They have 80,000 life. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're getting... Yeah, it's not going anywhere. We're not dead yet, and this does scale us, but this is what happens when you get to these later days. So, if you if you do what I'm doing here with this type of setup, you're gonna do okay. But you may run into this. And this person's, they're going crazy. They got $1,000 there. I love it. I love it. Good job, Deli. I love playing builds like that. But again, you can't always get that. And if you go for that every time, you're gonna be in a bad spot. So let's level up. Now we could level up one more time for a lot of HP. We have 17 gold to work with. I think we just should roll. We do have lucky rerolls. Like, that's a real thing. But now is where we have to stop, because if we roll one more time, then we're not allowed to level up. I think we're supposed to level up. This is a terrible look, by the way, at this point in time. Day 14, we have this, which is okay, but it's really not that special. Yeah, like this is 100 multicast on it. You have no chance. Okay, I said we have no chance, but it turns out we just got to 20,000 faster than they did. And that's because Batwing has a 4.4 second cast time. That's kind of how that works, right? That's why I thought Void Stinger was too slow, because of the 2.4 second. It's pretty slow. In a world where everyone's reducing cooldowns to, 2 or 1 second. But this is why we invested fully in the Void Stinger. We went down to the wire here, but we were at 9 wins before we lost our first life. Just late game was dangerous. And you could try and go for these crazier builds, but it's very easy to just tempo out a win. So, that's just the straight tempo build win. And look, it's going to die to the Gremlin, 100%. There's no way this beats Gremlin. No way. We're pretty good. Also, I forgot to mention, this saved us there. This 10% shield was the difference. So everything mattered. Everything mattered. This didn't really help that much, but except for that one shot. But anyways, if you guys like this video, you want to see more stuff like this, more detailed runs. It's hard to make these videos on 4 specific runs live, but if you guys want to see that, I can try. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Jeff out.